All right, you got me. I'm a believer now. There is a woke Reich, and it's appalling.
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce, and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring. And George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
You know, I didn't want to believe it. I wanted to believe we were all one big happy family. I didn't want to believe it's true. But it's become clear. They've shown their face. There is such a thing called the woke right or the woke Reich. You're watching the MC2 Tall Show, incidentally, with your hardcore, fierce, and sexy host, MC2 Tall. So there's the right side is splintering a little bit there, just a little, not enough to screw us up on the midterms just yet, but it does pose as a threat to the midterms, and we must not lose the midterms. We must not do anything that lends power back to the Democrats. They are an evil brood, and I still cite them as the evil brood and the enemy of great progress to be made here in the United States. And I refuse to get on the same page with the left and all they have done. So, with nothing am I on the same page as a liberal. Nothing. But apparently you have some factions who are. And you have some individuals splintering off for war. I had mentioned we lost Tucker, we lost Candace. And there are actually some people that are too much on the other side of that spectrum that seem to have a misinterpretation of the direction we're supposed to be going in. And yes, I'm referring to the ones who are opposed to the Tucker Carlsons and the Candace Owens. They have a misinterpretation on the direction that we must go. I don't believe in condemnation of these people, but abandonment is okay. Dismissal is okay. Condemnation, too drastic still. And it would be very disappointing, however, and worthy of condemnation if the allegations that such people of this woke right or woke right are on the take from Qatar or Qatar or Qatar, however the hell you pronounce the name of that country with the jagged burgundy thing on the side of their flag. And yeah, it would be disappointing and worthy of condemnation if we come to find that these people are on the take from the Qatari government or China or Iran. You know, you have some people on this woke Reich that are sounding like Mullah sympathists. And it's scary, it's disturbing, and it might not pose as a big threat to the midterms now, but as more people latch on to these critters, it might be. We got to stay strong, we got to stay solid, and oppose to the evil left. I call them the evil left because they're evil. So many levels of hell where belong the left. Crime runs rampant because of the Democrats. These are not cliches. These are what we've seen time and time again through events as fact. As fact. And if they're going to disagree with Donald Trump on one issue and walk completely away from him based on that issue, you're handing a victory to the left. You might as well say we were better off with the left. I used to support Trump, but we were better off with the left. No way. No way. You're going to get some of these numbskulls who are temporarily on our side to not lock in on our side and see the light. You're going to pull them away from the light into the darkness and drive them to wishing they voted for Kamala Harris. And we can't afford that. We got midterms coming up. We have to crush the American left, which is the ultimate enemy of the United States and everything America stands for. And of course, I'm referring to the current American left, not the Democratic Party of Hubert Humphrey, Edmund Muskie, Walter Mondale, and guys like that who are long deceased. Now, I'm talking about today's left. They are what I call the evil left for right and reason. And we cannot lead anyone to believe we were better off with them. We cannot lead people from our own camp to believe we were better off with them and that our votes should have went with them. That's silliness. That is nonsense. That is self-sabotage. That is sabotage of the entire country. Defeating the left is more important than helping longtime enemies of the United States crush and destroy and obliterate Israel. Now, I personally believe Israel could stand alone and fight its own battles. And that will have a lot of people on the conservative side against me. And I can explain myself in later discussions about that, but what I don't believe, and I'm much more against, is actively helping longtime enemies of the United States defeat and crush Israel. But there are people who actually want the United States to actively join with Iran, join with Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis, and become an ally of theirs to destroy Israel. There's even some conspiracies out there that Israel was behind 9/11. Again, there are members of the Illuminati that have some vested interest in hiding in Israel. But Israel is not, as a whole, is not the Illuminati. They're not the overboss to the Illuminati. They don't work in tandem with the Illuminati. But just like the American government, inside the Israeli government, just like inside other Western governments, you have your trolls and moles whose allegiance is more with the Illuminati than anything else. Always saying Illuminati. Fine, I'll say conglomerate of secret societies if you want me to say that. But whatever you want to call it, the Matrix, the Deep State, the Illuminati, conglomerate of secret societies, mystery schools, that thing, that gray mass of people behind the scenes, that does exist. And I believe they've gotten to certain members of the right. Certain members of the right that were instrumental in helping this movement take form and rise and become victorious in 2024. And now they're trying to poison and kill it. But when you poison and kill that, you're poisoning and killing the American way of life and life as you know it here in America, because we've seen what happened under Joe Biden's administration. We've seen that. And considering all that mess of the Biden administration, would you really rather have that come back than the direction, the worst destination that you think is at the end of the direction that we're going? The worst of Donald Trump, the worst thing you could imagine about Donald Trump is not even a fraction as bad as what one would consider the good points, if there any exist, of the Biden administration. We cannot bring back any of that silliness, that nonsense, detriment, abomination that the Biden administration had this country under. DEI, CRT, freaking USAID running rampant, wild, unchecked. What are you kidding me? Give the power back to the party that gave us that. Stop trying to weaken the Trump administration. You have Candace Owens now calling Donald Trump evil. Did we or did we not all see, along with Candace, the abominations of the Obama administration, yes, and the Joe Biden administration? Did we not see that? Did we not see 4 years of Joe Biden? Did Candace not see 4 years of Joe Biden? Did she not see 8 years of Barack Obama, especially the second term? Did she not witness that? I thought it was that made her swing from left to right. She's swinging back left again. Tucker Carlson, I think the Washington pundit in him is coming out again with that. A lot of them are going back to their weird leftist roots. It's okay to call things down the middle. But the middle you once knew is some sick leftist nonsense now. The real middle is what the old moderate right used to be. You're not even doing that. And yeah, it would be very disappointing if the accusation is of these people being on the take turn out to be true. And you never know. I mean, I haven't been in agreement with Mark Levin lately because he seems to think that Israel is completely holy, blameless, and infallible, which I don't believe that either. But I'd rather Israel survive a confrontation between themselves and the enemies they faced lately than the other way around. Doesn't make them infallible, but definitely more palatable. Definitely more tolerable. I mean, I don't believe in being subservient to them, as Mark Levin would want America to be, and he's pretty obvious with that, and so is Ben Shapiro. But to Mark Levin's credit, he does do his homework, he does do his research, and the possibilities are very strong that he's not wrong when he talks about some of these people being on the take, because he's very experienced at doing research, a lot more experience than Tucker Carlson. To give, and I'm not turning around and taking sides with this. I mean, I think I had a video where I said, "Where's my F them both button?" because I got sick and tired of the both of them. But I'm not siding with the side that weakens this movement. We can't say, "Yay, we defeated Kamala." Well, go Kamala, however, wherever you put the accent in her name. I like to call it Kantamala anyway. We can't say, "Yay, we defeated Kantamala. We won the 2024 election, and let's kick back." We could start criticizing the side that we helped win in 2024, so we could sabotage them in 2026 and have them sink under and hand majority power plus the executive branch right back to the Democrats. The goal is to whittle the Democrats down to being such a small minority that they are a joke. That is the goal. And if you nitpick too much, you're taking away from that goal. You're making people think that that goal is not an important one to be achieved. So, unfortunately, as much as I did not want to believe it, and as much as I was fighting against believing it, I have to resign to the truth. And the truth is, there is a woke right that some would call the Woke Reich. And they're appalling. They're appalling. And they need to stop. And I would urge people to keep an open ear to the side, to hear the side that they're criticizing plead their case. I would urge people to do that. Keep an open ear to all sides. Don't stay in this woke Reich world as it becomes an echo chamber of all people that say, hey, wait a minute. What about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? They have no right to do that when you have the evil left looming, licking their chops, sharpening their claws and teeth, ready to sink them back into this country and control of this nation. And it will be absolute hell. The 4 years of Joe Biden would be a walk in the park compared to what they have planned if they ever get a supermajority. And I will do everything in my power to stop that. I will stake my blood on it. Respect God. Watch out for the Illuminati. Like, follow, share, comment, subscribe, stay strong. Keep kicking that slang. It's your boy in the building, hip-hop legend, recording engineer, underground rock and roll hero, your hardcore, fierce, and sexy host that is never gross, MC Too Tall. You be careful out there. Be careful.